So when I was thinking about how I wanted to use the space here, I partially was wanting to expand some ideas from my last show. And in that show, I built walls in just a white cube, very minimal gallery space. And the walls made it so that the space was more of a maze, and people would go through small doorways and would have views into smaller nooks where sculptures were situated, and so they would discover the sculpture more gradually. And I liked that spatial strategy, and so I wanted to do something similar here. So here I built a wall that divides in each space I built a wall that divides the room into two separate spaces. And I think of one side of that wall as more of an interior space. It's a space that's either, it's harder to access, or maybe smaller or more confined. And it also has a color that's more bodily, that pink color. The other side is the space that people enter into first. Like, it's just as they come up the steps, they step into the room and they're in this more public space that's colored green, screen green. And then another thing I was thinking about is playing with scale in the space in relation to the scale of the figures. So I often make figures that are smaller than life size, kind of I call it 3/4 scale. It's like the child size scale, although they're adult bodies. I like the way that scale creates a bodily response in viewers. Like, it makes you more aware of your own body, can make you feel really imposing or larger or whatever. It's kind of a more guttural response to the work, and I wanted to translate that kind of experience into the space as well. So I lowered the ceiling so that it was scaled to be what would be similar to our typical ceiling heights. So for them it was lowered to be proportionate in that regard, but for us it feels very low. And so when you enter into the space, it does a similar thing where it makes you more aware of your body and makes you feel larger.